so sorry that we haven't hung out in so long. I had the full intentions of making this at the beginning of January, but now we are in week 3. And here we are at the end of December. I had written down all these intentions for the new year, and then the new year hit. We traveled, we were getting back into the routine of life outside of the holidays, and like everywhere else, COVID hit also. I tested positive for the first time, and thankfully mine was very mild. It felt like I just had a cold, and I've just been very exhausted, and that's just been an after effect of it. As you can tell, it's kind of hard for me to breathe, and that's just been my life, is kind of just easing into having energy again, and just, you know, not trying to push myself too much. And I had to sit back and tell myself that just because it's January, just because it's a new year, I don't have to hit the ground running and have all these expectations met. I just need to have the mentality of just easing into these intentions that I'm setting for myself. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, is kind of the intentions that I set for year 2022. We're kind of against the phrasing of New Year's resolutions or your New Year's goals, just because they're things that we sometimes set for ourselves that are not attainable. But for me, I'm trying to pick areas of my life that I want to cultivate and I want to grow. And because of that, they are intentions for my new year. So I am easier to be motivated towards them, and just overall bring me a happiness with them. And with that, I'm going to kind of explain these areas of my life today that I want to cultivate. With that, I have a word that I chose for 2022. Every year I choose a word, and that's kind of what my year is focused on, how I keep myself grounded, what I look back on whenever I need motivation. I actually got coffee with a friend, her name is Tori, and she told me that her word that she chose was based off of the verse Galatians 5:22. And afterwards I was in my car and I was like, oh my gosh, I just got a new Bible, and on the very back of it is that verse, and it's all of the fruits of the Spirit. So my in-laws actually gave me this Bible for Christmas, and I have adored it so far. It is a Hosanna revival. It has a very cute little lemon tree on the front, and it has the verse on the back. So with the fruits of the Spirit, I thought, hey, I'm going to do that also, and every year just pick a new fruit that I want to focus on, and then kind of go from there every year. So the word that I chose, which I kind of chose 2 words this year, is self-control and faithfulness. Why I chose these words is with the pandemic just happening for the past year and a half, I've gone through trials like everyone else, and my faith has faltered because of that. And this year I really want it to be a rebuilding year for my faith and for my relationship with the Lord. So with self-control, I just want to have these areas of my life that I'm focusing on to overall influence my obedience to the Lord and just grow my relationship with Jesus. And I tied in faithfulness because of that, because with these areas I'm going to talk about, I want them to always focus on my faithfulness with Jesus, and hopefully with that and my self-control, my relationship with Him will just cultivate and grow and just have a beautiful connection with Him. So those are my 2 words that I'm choosing. And now with that, with my planner that I have behind me, this is the one that I used last year for 2021. At the end of December, I took time to kind of see what I did, how I grew that year in the areas that I focused on, and then at the very back of the book, I wrote down 7 areas that I want to have intentions toward. So these 7 areas are my spiritual life, my health, my work life, my marriage, my friendships, traveling, and fun. I chose these areas just because I feel like they are the areas that bring me the most happiness. And with these, I want them all to tie together to my main words for the year: faithfulness and self-control. So I thought I would take time to talk through these 7 themes and then say kind of like how I'm going to focus on them, and then talk about the resources that I'm going to use to help me cultivate them. So the first one is my spiritual life. Whenever we moved to the house that we are in right now, we were blessed to have a church right next to us, and I've never had that in my life, having a church right across the street, and it is amazing. We've been in the place where we've transitioned to this church now, and we are slowly growing into it, and the area that I want to grow in is my community. So my first goal is join a community group. This can either be with Alex, or it can be just with a women's group with me. I just want to find an area of other Christians that I can just have fellowship with and look forward to every week meeting up with them and just growing with them in that way. Number 2 is using my new Bible that I showed y'all. I had an older one that I beat to the ground, like no joke. It was falling completely apart, and I couldn't use it anymore. So with this new Bible, I want to do the same exact thing to it. I want to use it so much that it falls apart again. I know that's a weird goal, but I want to have it in my car, have it in my purse, have it always with me, so I have no excuse to not pull it out in moments where I can read and just be a sponge to God's word. With using my new Bible more, I want to use the devotional app First 5. I've shared this app on my social media before. First 5 is a resource where if you're interested in learning more about a certain book in the Bible, or learning about a theme like suffering, hope, faithfulness, anything that you can think of, First 5 has different areas on their app where it has books of the Bible that they've turned into personal devotionals. So it's so easy because it's on your phone, so you can just pull it up, see what day you're on for the devotional, and then read a little section of the Bible that it's in, and then a word from the creators that they've written about it. So my thought with the Bible is I want to use it, but also use the app and go through different studies this year. I haven't really picked a number of studies I want to go through. I just want it to be natural. So that is my number 2. And then the next area we're going to go through is health. So I talked about my spiritual health. Now I'm going to talk about my physical health. I cannot believe that in grad school, I worked out 7 days a week, pretty much. Like, there wasn't a lot of times that I would miss a workout, which is so crazy to think, because now having a full-time job, I have no energy. I try to wake up in the morning, and if I sleep in, I'm just upset with myself. So I'm trying to think of a healthy mentality for me, so I have a good relationship with working out. Not that it's something that I have to do, but I want to do. So the goal that I wrote for my physical health is doing a 2-2 plan, which means 2 times working out at my house in the morning, and then 2 times working out at the gym if it's running or doing weights or something like that. And I feel like having 4 days out of the week as being an attainable goal is something that I look forward to, and it's not just like, oh my gosh, I missed a day. Like, I'm going to ease into it, and my goal is 4, but if I do less, I'm okay with that. If I do more, I'm okay with that too. It's just an easy number that I think that I can grow into. And with the 2 days of the week at home, I'm going to continue using my Chloe Teen workout program. This is another resource that I recommend for you guys. It's kind of like the First 5 app, but for working out. It has different themes and areas. So if you want to work out your legs, your core, your upper body, or your full body, you just go on and pick the area that you're trying to target, and then it shows you a link to her YouTube videos, and it has day 1 to day, most of the days I think are like a 30-day program. So it shows you each day what you need to do, and the workouts are maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. So it's very easy on a full-time work schedule to just like ease that into the morning. So those are my areas for my health physically, and I kind of added another area of I want to try to start walking the dogs 1 time a week. Now that we're in the neighborhood, I would like to do more, but once again, the theme is easy into everything. And right now I'm getting home around like 6 something, and it's so dark outside, so this school probably will start once the time changes and it starts being a little bit lighter outside at nighttime. So I just would love to start walking. We have 3 dogs, so they definitely need to have some little physical workout also to get healthy and happy, because they need a lot of movement. Oh my goodness. The next area is my work life. Since I am in healthcare, I'm a speech therapist, I'm not going to go too much in detail with this just because I just want to keep it private. But I can kind of broadly say it's going to be focusing on just growing as a clinician. I want to be able to give my patients the best care that I can, and I just want to grow with my skills and with my research with the areas that I'm treating. So those are my work life goals. And then we're going to ease into marriage life. Alex and I actually celebrated our 3-year date anniversary. So we actually met on Hinge, the dating app, 3 years ago. I don't know if y'all know that. I don't know if I've ever said that on here. But yeah, we've been dating for 3 years. It's been 3 years since we swiped right on each other, which is so incredible to be at that place now where we're just like, we've been together for so long, we're just so comfortable with each other. And we're going into our 2nd year of marriage. So I don't want to just like sit in that comfort, you know, like I want to grow in it. I want to cultivate our marriage too daily. So the areas that I wrote to grow my marriage is 1 date night a week, and then 1 words of affirmation or love language of actions a week, and then devotionals weekly. So going into that, a date night a week, I know a lot of people are like, how do you have time to do that, or how can you afford to do that? The mentality of it is, it doesn't have to be a date night where you get dressed up, you spend a lot of money type of thing. I would like to do that every once in a while, but my whole thing is just like choosing activities or spending quality time together that just grows us. So if that means just like getting our French bistro plates out, being like cooking night together, or if that means just like getting in our comfy clothes and going to Brahms and getting ice cream and just eating it in the car, or just taking a walk together. I want to choose intentional dates that we're just investing in each other with phones away. The other one was doing the words of affirmation or a different love language for Alex. So every day I'm going to have the intentions of giving him his love languages. For example, if I'm like really tired by the end of the day of work, I'm still going to push through and do the dishes because he's a very much like actions type person. So I'm going to take time to just like clean areas of the house that need help, or I'm going to notice something that he did and give him some words of affirmation. So I just want to focus on that because I feel like supporting your spouse is such a big thing, and to know how they need to be loved is going to just grow the connection between a husband and a wife. And then another way to grow us is doing a devotional a week. So picking out a day where we can go to a coffee shop and either do a devotional that is marriage-based or something that's based just on a theme that we're wanting to grow with the Lord with, just doing that. So my next area is my friendships. Being an adult and having friends is amazing, but it's also such a trial because most of the time your friends have different work schedules than you, or they live in a complete different state or city. A lot of my friends do. So I'm trying to set aside time where I look at my month and I see friendships that I want to invest in. So I'm going to choose 1 to 2 friends that I'm going to either drive to see, or they're going to come to me and we're going to get lunch. If they're completely out of state, we're going to set aside time in our planner where we can FaceTime or call. So that's my way of investing in my friendships. My next one is travel. Travel is such a big passion for me, and I'm excited that traveling is a little bit more accessible this year with the pandemic, and I'm praying against that there's a shutdown so we can't travel, because I'm really looking forward to the trips that we have planned for this year. So Alex and I kind of sat down and we thought about a winter trip that we want to do, a summer trip that we want to do, and then the fall is going to be based on Arkansas's football schedule. Oh my gosh, I'm such a football wife. So for our winter trip, we're actually going to go to Colorado in a few weeks in February, and we're going to Denver. Alex surprised me with that trip for my Christmas gift, and we're just going to explore Denver and then go skiing and snowboarding one of the days. So that's going to be really fun. And then our summer trip, we are going to Hawaii in August. I'm really praying that we can make it there. I know that it's such a far flight, so I'm hoping that it's still safe to travel there in August. So we have that set for our summer trip, and then once again our fall trip. I think most of the games we're going to will be in Fayetteville, so we'll be doing a lot of fall trips to Fayetteville, which will be gorgeous with all the different leaves changing and just being in the mountains during that time of year. And then my last one I wrote was fun. A lot of my goals that I wrote are still fun, but you know, they're still serious. They still need to have some some structure to them. So I wanted to create some goals that are just like, don't have to think about them, can just enjoy life in that way. And so my first one I said is doing 2 vlogs a month. I know vlogs sound like work, but for me, it's so fun because I get to be creative. I get to share with you guys my passions and what I love and what I like to do on my days off. So I want to try to do 2 vlogs a month to show you guys just different home stuff, different travel, things like that. And then my second one is I want to read 1 book a month. Since I got out of grad school, I was so over books because I had to read books for research, and I just fell out of love with reading. And so this year I want to try to focus on 1 book a month. If I read it fast, I do. If I read it slow, it's no big deal. I just want to focus on 1 a month and just kind of slowly ease into falling in love with reading again. So those are my 7 areas that I'm going to invest in and cultivate in my life. I am very excited for them, and I know that y'all probably have your goals already, so I really hope that I just gave y'all some inspiration and motivation maybe to just push through and just be excited about the goals you created. Or if you needed help with some, I'm just praying that these will give you guys some inspiration and some excitement in year 2022. So this is my Friday, so I kind of have nothing planned today. I just wanted to film this, and then I think I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and do a little devotional and then maybe grab a little bit of food. We're going to Tyler tonight so Alex can get his hair done. His mom used to be a hairstylist, so anytime he gets his hair done, he goes to his mom, which is really cute. So we're gonna go to Tyler for a quick trip tonight and just have fellowship with his family, and then tomorrow we'll be back in Fort Worth. My cousin Macy's gonna be here, and we're gonna have a girls' night. So it's gonna be really a very easygoing weekend, and I'm excited. So that's all I have today. Thank y'all for hanging out. I may show y'all the rest of my day, maybe take y'all to the coffee shop that I'm going to, but other than that, I really appreciate y'all just taking time to get to know me better, and I'm just praying over you guys, and I hope y'all have a good and happy rest of your day. Bye.